Good morning and welcome to the Gardening with Gil video series. We're in the second half or the end of June 2020. I'm your host, Will Redfern, and in front of me is Gil Gillespie. Give us a wave, Gil. We are both Norfolk master gardeners. Gil has been growing vegetables for decades, ever since he was a little boy growing up on the farm in Virginia. And you may also know him from Gardens in a Flower Pot, where he worked for almost 30 years. So Gil knows a lot about growing vegetables. We are filming this series with the intent of showing residents of Norfolk useful tips in planning, planting, and maintaining their vegetable gardens, especially in times like these when growing your own food is an attractive alternative to buying it. And we are trying to discuss one vegetable per video. Today we're back in Gil's garden. Look at this. If you've been following our series, you saw us plant a lot of this stuff, and good golly, it is beautiful. All right, Gil, what are we planting today?
Today we're going to be working with sweet potatoes. They come in different colors. You can get white, yellow, orange, and red in sweet potatoes, and they are a tuberous root. And I plant the slips of the potatoes. We'll take one up here for demo. And this is a sweet potato. I planted these in March when I was putting in the carrots and the radishes and beets. And I make a row of them. And since this is a tuberous root, I'd like to explain that this end is the tuber, where it was attached to the plant, and the other end is the root. So it will actually make the slips. So what we plant is the slips. We slip this one off, and we'll slip this one off. Okay?
How do you slip them off?
Just slip them off.
Just pull them off?
Take them off the old plant. Okay? And we'll just stick this back in the ground, and it may put some more slips up for later. Now we have two slips that we can go plant in the planting mound.
So Gil, when you planted these sweet potatoes in March, what kind of sweet potatoes were they?
These here were actually the ones that I raise here in my garden. And if I don't raise them, then you can buy the slips through the garden centers. We'll be carrying sweet potato slips, usually in late May. And you can buy different kinds. It's up to you. You can, as I say, you can get it in different colors and different types. So these were actually Beauregards.
So essentially, in March, you plant a whole sweet potato, to grow slips.
To grow the slips.
And then by the end of May or early June, the slips have come out of the ground.
Up, and then we go put them in the growing mound where they're going to grow.
Okay.
And I'm going to take this to the mound, and we'll plant these.
I'll meet you there. We'll get another look at the garden here. Wow, look at all these tomatoes. Rows and rows of tomatoes. Oh, what do we have here?
This is our sweet potato row. I put these slips in the other day when I could get some large enough to actually plant, and we're going to leave these two here for our demo planting today. And I do have a mound. I call it a mound rather than a hill because my hills are made with a pot in the middle of them usually for the things that we grow in bunches. But here I make a mound, and this mound is made so that the sweet potatoes get large. They can develop large sweet potatoes, and so the mound helps them to give it a larger place in which to produce these. One sweet potato plant will make anywhere from 2 to 6 to 7 of these per sweet potato plant. So therefore we need the mound that helps them produce.
So the mound's about a foot wide?
Yeah,
a little more?
I plant the slips about 12 inches apart, about a foot apart. And to make my planting things for my slips, I make me a hole, put the slip in. You can use hose from both ends, by the way. And now we have our planting hole. I put a slip in that one and a slip in this one. And then I tighten it in. real tight so that it's contacting with the soil in there to develop the root systems.
Got to give it a Gill's grunt.
And we have to go, make sure it's nice and tight and that we still have the area around the plant in which to put the water. Now we have the plants in and we're going to water them with some root stimulator water. Just very slowly so it can soak in without running down my circles. And there we have it. They're ready to go for the summer. They'll be growing here until late September, October, and you can start taking them out. And the hill also helps when you're taking them up. You can take your spading fork and go around them and lift the clumps so you don't tear them up. So the mound is a real helpful thing to grow the potatoes in and also for harvesting. So there's the sweet potato from the start to the planting.
So 3 key times. In March, you plant your sweet potato. In late May, early June, you harvest the slips and you move them to the mound. And then in late September or October, you're able to actually harvest the sweet potatoes which have been growing in the mound, right?
That's correct.
All right. Thanks, Gil.
Thank you.